Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is it still morning? Good morning.
So how do we do this thing?
We just talk about
This is my
VO.
first JoCo Cruise.
I start by spitting all over you. Now we're married. This is a voiceover panel. Thanks for getting up and getting over to us so early in the semi morning. I'm Janet Varney.
Where might people know you from, Janet?
People might know me from The Legend of Korra and a bunch of other stuff.
Hi, I'm Erika Ishii. You might know me from Apex Legends as Valkyrie, or Halo as Lumu, or Destiny as Anna Bray, or perhaps some of my tabletop things.
Hi, I'm Dante Basco. You might know me as the misunderstood Prince of the Fire Nation.
I think we understand him.
Prince
I think we
Zuko.
understand him.
Some don't understand him as well as we others. And or the American Dragon Jake along on Disney.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, you, sir.
Hi, I'm Gary Anthony Williams. I'm the pretty one in the group.
True.
Yeah. Clap for my pretty. From long ago, Uncle Ruckus on the Boondocks. Right now,
Yes.
Right now, I'm doing Marvel's Disney's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And guys, Google for me. My phone doesn't Google right now. You'll see who I am. And this is my lover and
Correct.
best friend.
That's right. I'm Gary Anthony Williams.
Yeah.
I'm Marc Evan Jackson. You might know me from Disney's Ducktales, The Thrilling Adventure Hour as Sparks Nevada. Currently, Agent John No H. Schloter in Transformers Earthspark.
Nice.
And other stuff. Google me. My Google works.
Let me just say this before, Janet. Janet, I know that you're going to lead this like nothing. So our promise in this panel today is that by the time you leave here, you will have an agent if you want one, you will have a manager if you want one, and you will be the lead on a series if you so choose.
We're
That's
actually recording a series with each and every one of you today. It's going to be the longest pilot that ever hit the internet. Each one of you will have a juicy role, and that's how all of those things are going to happen.
I guess it might be kind of helpful if we kind of tell people how we got started in voiceover versus
I want to know how
on camera.
everybody got started.
Yeah, I would love to know how people got started, especially voiceover versus the on-camera, like
Right.
which came first and which you enjoy more. I think that's a great place to start,
Yeah.
Dante.
Sure.
Well, I came to LA in like '85. I don't think anyone. I didn't even know about voice acting. Right? I was a breakdancer. So then we started acting. Yeah, b-boys out there. I don't know. But then
So you spoke with your legs back in the
I
day.
spoke with my legs, and
Yeah.
actually my head spinning action was probably my favorite move. But so, yeah, I didn't know about voice acting. And then it just feels like you have like these agents, and you go to the agency, and there's all these agents, and there's always that one agent at the end of the hall. That's the voice acting agent. You're
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
what do we do? Go say hi to them. And then every now and then they send you out on an audition, and you're like, okay. So I never thought about voice acting, but then it just somewhere in the late 90s, it kind of just opened up crazy for me. And it was all these things. I was on some list on Disney, and then I did.
You on what on Disney?
There's a list. There's a list of actors.
Approved.
As approved actors,
Yeah.
and somehow I got on the list. I did a movie called the Goofy movie. I did like one line in the Goofy movie. You guys watch the Goofy movie?
Wait,
Shout out
what?
to yeah.
I do
Okay,
this
well,
line.
wait. Where were you at
I
Disney
know.
sing-along then?
I was not there.
Two Goofy movie songs.
Stand
Two.
out and eye to eye.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I did this line that goes, "Hey Stacy," it goes, "Yo Stacy, talk to me, baby."
Yeah.
And that was like the beginning of my voice acting career.
Wow.
But then I don't know, I got that series.
Well, I just learned that there's a list at Disney that I don't even know if I'm on.
You're definitely on it.
There's
Okay.
a list at every net, yeah.
Well,
Varney,
I
where
too
were
was
you?
I was of course a break dancer. God, it would feel so good if that were true. I would be so proud of
I
myself.
saw you
I live
dancing the other night
vicariously-
in the improv
Don't
show.
bring that up.
You were getting down.
Don't bring that up.
On the get down, get down.
No, yeah, I live vicariously through Dante. Similarly, I think my commercial agency is the agency that had a voiceover department also. So, but I was kind of the same way. I with everything in my career, I am not like, for example, I know Erika. I am not like Erika. I am definitely the one that's like, I shouldn't be doing this. I probably shouldn't do this. I'm not. Well, I wouldn't even ask. I shouldn't ask. You know what? I'm going to move back to San Francisco. It was very hard for me. I think some of you can relate to that. I don't have that like, I've never seen anyone do this thing before. I'm going to do it. Like I want to be that. I think I'm getting there as I get older.
Yeah.
But I'm much more the person who's like, if someone's like, and have you done voiceover? I'll be like, oh, no, I've never done voiceover. You know what? I'm so sorry I talked to you. Forget it. Forget my name. Forget you ever saw me. Forget my face. And so it took me a lot of courage to ask around and go, hey, my dream is kind of to be on a cartoon, like a lot of my friends in comedy, it just sounds so fun. And what would that take? What would I need to do? And so, I took classes and tried to get the sort of technical aspects down. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that we always tell people at Comic-Cons when they ask us about voice acting is, and I'm sure you've all said this 1,000 times, is like, it's not voice acting, it's acting.
Yeah.
The voice stuff, yes, there are technical skills that you all are more than capable of learning, but you have to train to be an actor. My opinion.
I agree completely.
Or you can have a natural presence and do it and rock it, but better maybe to plan on, studying acting or studying acting, whatever that means for you. That doesn't necessarily mean like going to an acting college or whatever. You don't have to have done that at all.
No, not at all. I think there was a time that there was sort of this misnomer that in order to be in VO or a voice actor, you had to have some like unbelievable pipes, or
Says the guy with the unbelievable
that being
pipes.
Said, your voice
You're not
is beautiful.
helping. You're not helping.
You can't say that.
You're not helping.
When I first got in the business. But every actor should be a voice actor. Voice acting is simply acting, and it used to be, when I moved to Hollywood in 2001, there was sort of, this bullshit word on the street that like there are only like 30 people that can do it, and it's like that's not true. Like that's simply not true. It's just another club in your bag. Like it's another skill set, like improv, like dance, like movement, like whatever. Dialects and that sort of thing, and I think every actor should engage in it. There are training things. I studied with a woman named Nancy Wolfson just to say, I don't want to. I approach things. I need to learn it myself, but I did want to say to somebody, a pro, meet with them a whole bunch initially and say like, don't let me make any mistakes. Like,
right.
What are some traps I could fall into? And so you hire someone great and listen to their advice and take it or don't. And
so is that what did you get in by starting the classes and then doing that, or how did you get in?
I think that's how I got an agent. I mean, I had been doing sort of small stuff here and there, friend stuff, through the improv world, the sketch world. MTV and VH1 used to have some animated series that paid nothing, and you'd come in one day and do 1,000 voices kind of thing. But it was through Nancy that I then put together a demo on CD back then, and then shopped that around and was able to sign with some folks. Yeah.
Erika, what about you?
I feel like I have. I'm losing my voice because of the screaming. I actually had a lot of classical training growing up. My parents were below-the-line workers in the film industry, which means, they're like editor and camera assistant. And they saw I had a lot of energy, and so they thought maybe I'd like to try acting. And so I did the child acting thing. I did an episode of Full House.
Did you talk about that on the JV Club? I don't
think
remember.
did
you
I?
You dropped?
Maybe.
I don't know if you dropped Full House.
I did Full
feel like
House.
I would remember that.
Fun fact, my dad was a camera assistant on Hook.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
But so I did on-camera acting, and I had a lot of classical training of Strasberg Institute, which is like the method school, and UCB, the Upright Citizens Brigade, for improv. But I played The Last of Us in 2013, and I realized that, I could do voice acting for video games. That was a viable career option, and there's a new medium of storytelling coming up in our lifetime, and I really wanted to be part of that. And so my career path brought me around in this circuitous way of, I was interviewing and sort of in journalism and video games, and I knew a lot of video games people, and my demo would get in there because, I had a voiceover demo. I decided to invest in that. And so I started booking union jobs myself, and then I got an agent, and then it all kind of snowballed in the past maybe 2 years, and I ended up getting to be in the sequel of The Last of Us. So
Nice.
it all came full circle for me.
Amazing.
I was doing improv comedy in Atlanta, and then one night I did a freestyle rap on stage, and one of the guys in the group happened to be a copywriter, and he called me the next morning and said, "Hey, I wrote this really crappy rap commercial for a TV show in Chicago. Will you come and do it?" So I went in and I recorded my first time ever. I'd never done any voiceover. I recorded it, and the guy who owned this huge studio there, recording studio, said, "Hey man, I heard you recording that. Do you have a demo?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Here's the deal. If you do free commercials for me, I'll make you the best demo you've ever had in your life." And every week,
How many free commercials?
well, it did not
Still
matter
doing
because
them.
it didn't matter
He's
because
still
now I'm
doing
wealthy.
them.
I'm still doing them. I have 15 more to go, and after that 15, I'll finish the last batch of 100 the week after that. So I did that for him. He made me this demo. I got an agent. Then I moved to LA, and they listened to that demo, and they were like, "That won't work here.
Yeah.
You need a
yeah.
new demo." They said, and then
true.
I was on stage again doing improv in LA my first year, and a lady came from the audience and said, "Do you have a demo?" I was like, "Yes, but I've been told by all the agents here it won't work." She's like, "Let me just take it to my agency," which was ICM, and then she took it, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll hire you." And that was it. Like, all these people that were telling me, it won't work, that won't work. And then, I keep saying this in life, stop
Failure is
listening to
impossible.
people. Stop listening to people.
Nobody knows nothing.
Nobody, really, people don't know anything until you tell them something, and then suddenly, oh, I need his voice.
Right.
Oh, I need her
Yeah.
voice. I need that voice. I need that voice. Until then, they don't listen to those people.
My friend Donna was temping at the studio where they were going to be making a cartoon called Word Girl, and she was the person who had to tell people they had a phone call. And she's a wonderful improviser and actress, but you scrape it together when you're in LA. And she was, she would be like, you have a call on, and that's her natural voice. And they were like, "Oh, we found her. Your audition was your temp job,
Yeah.
Great.
working in reception." So, I mean,
Oh,
that's
that's
one of
the
the great things
dream.
about VO. And it's true of all kinds of stuff now with so much media that's out there and so many people, having the accessibility. We were talking about this yesterday on the podcasting panel, the accessibility of technology. You all know, people get famous doing voiceover because they got famous before from YouTube or because they made a cartoon. No one's ever heard of them, and they were in college together, and they made this cartoon, and the cartoon became famous. They end up doing VO because they do RPGs. The sky is kind of the limit, which can feel intimidating, but I think whenever intimidated, try to lean into the positive side of that, which is wow, there's so many different ways to do it. What's gonna, what fits for you and what you care about and what
And
you
believe.
Yeah.
You have to
And
believe it's
believe.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you guys said about acting is so right. And it doesn't matter if you're a trained actor or if you're just naturally good at it. It is nothing but acting. It's acting with your throat. That's all it is. And so, but do make sure that you're good on that side, that you can emote, that you can actually feel what your character is doing. But it doesn't matter how you get there, whether it's Juilliard or you just happen to be a naturally good actor. But it really is nothing but acting. There's no magic trick to it other than that.
I would say that actually, in addition, you were saying, yes, the technique and yes, acting, but that we really, as actors, don't talk enough about the marketing and the business aspect of it.
The
I know
schmooze.
a lot of actors find business distasteful, but
Right.
the
only because
idea-
we're bad at it.
Right.
not
We
because
suck
think
at
we're above
business.
it.
We don't have business degrees.
We literally hire people to do business and talk to money people for us. But in a lot of ways, especially in the scrappy startup, you started on YouTube or TikTok or in other methods, you kind of have to say, this is what I do, this is what I want to do, and these are kind of the contacts that I am making and the ways in which I market myself as an actor.
You have a
It's
brand.
Really important. Yeah, having a brand.
Yeah.
Having a brand.
But also, on the flip side of that coin, voice acting opened up to me because I had no clue about it. Like, I'm gonna do all this on-screen stuff in my on-screen career, and then it's like you also have to have a plan, but then have the wherewithal when another door opens up. It could be better than the plan that you have that you don't have any idea what you're
Sure.
doing anyway.
Sure.
So it's like the way the entertainment industry is like, you have to figure out how you do Hollywood. Like when you have to figure it out. When you're a young artist, I tell you, look, read and study all your heroes. I did, we all do. Read all the books, study what they did, watch their films, watch their shows. But the trick is you can't do what they did. If you can only do it, if that was the way to go, then guess what? There'd be more successful people in Hollywood. That's not the way it is. It's the people who can go read and study all their heroes, and then if they can apply those lessons that they learned to themselves the best, they have the best chance of winning. The problem is the only person that can apply those lessons and understands them for themselves is you. It's you. It's like you have to work on your career, work on yourself, work on your career, work on yourself, and see if you can unlock some things, because there's no teacher, no parent, no best friend can tell you how to apply that lesson to you, because we're sensitive artists. You're sensitive artists. We're sensitive artists trying to do a crazy business of maniacs.
Yeah.
And so,
Crazy business
Of
of maniacs.
right. And so how do you, as an artist, become a great artist, and how do we maneuver in this shark-infested industry?
Yeah.
It's like it's a lot of time with yourself and figuring it out.
That bears addressing. Absolutely possible that you can work in this business. You better fucking want it, because it's full
Yeah.
of rejection. It's a long road to get I mean, obviously there's instant fame with, if you drop the perfect, is it tip top?
Yeah.
And even then, I would argue you have to keep feeding the algorithms.
Yeah.
You know, it's about regular posting every single day.
Nope.
What,
Nah, dude, nah.
you don't need.
I do think that you guys have wasted your time hiring managers and agents, because you could just get on the phone and be someone else. And this is Gary's agent, and I'm just going to be my own manager, my own agent, because I can do the voice. Why
Right.
would I be paying this other guy to be my agent and manager if I can tell, hey, Gary he's going to need 15 more percent. Why would I not?
You
He's
and I had
doing
this-
the voice he uses when he represents himself in court,
that's
too.
my-
This is cool. I love his lawyer voice.
Yo, when I represent myself in court, yep. And also when I represent myself in prison. Because I definitely am going to do some prison time for the bullshit I'm doing. Illegally representing myself in voiceover.
Yeah, but to Mark's point, it's just instant fame is not really a thing.
No.
No.
It's a long road. I mean, I've been in Hollywood 22 years, and it's just the last several that have been really fun. Like you better want it. There's an axiom in acting and in Hollywood of like, if you can imagine yourself doing anything else in life, go do that.
Yeah.
Because it's a challenging and sometimes really thankless path. But man, oh man, it's possible. And when it happens, it's fun. And it's out there.
Hollywood is always
Easy.
stupid, sometimes fruitful, but it's always stupid, and it is a long road, and it's a game.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing the game.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's silly. It's absolute silly. You can go from nothing to anything in half a second, or vice versa, and it's always a silly game, but I enjoy it because there are really no rules. It's not like in certain other businesses where you have to do this in order to get to this, in order to get to this. You can skip 12 steps or fall back 9 steps at any time. And you have to want to do and enjoy doing it enough that doesn't matter to you.
But I would also say this is kind of it's kind of a self-selecting group, because we are all here on JoCo, and looking at this panel, all of us love doing a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah,
and I think that really, really helps. It's like what Marc was saying earlier, what we're all kind of saying is like, almost like stay dedicated, but stay dedicated also to being curious and open. Like stay dedicated to being open, because I feel like we're all on this cruise because we are, what do you call that with the blade that has a lot of tools on the thing? When you put
Swiss
that
Army
thing-
knife?
Swiss Army knife.
Utility
Utility
knife.
knife.
Leatherman,
nesting
yes.
Utility
doll?
knife.
Yeah, a vestigial tail. That's what we all are.
God, I wish we could have just kept guessing what she wanted for 58 minutes.
But and part of that too is like what Gary's saying. I mean, Gary, you feel that joy working with him every moment that you do something with him, and that's true for everyone. I've worked with all of these people in friendship, in life, in games, and improv, and acting. And there is joy with every single one of these people, and they bring that joy wherever they go. And that doesn't mean that we don't, bitch backstage about feeling seasick or whatever. Like we're not like just sunshine every second, but I think we're fun to work with.
Oh, that's a big part of it too.
And
Yeah.
I think and that's the spirit of JoCo too. So again, it's like maybe not every panel is going to sound exactly like this, but I think it's not a coincidence that the people on the JoCo panel are like, I love doing a bunch of stuff with a bunch of different people,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think being fun to be with is part of it. Like, I think that not being a problem, being on set on time, being in the studio on time, being prepared and familiar with the material, being flexible, all that stuff. I shot a big movie several years ago full of young actors, people in their 20s that, we were up a mountain in Vietnam and they were like, this Wi-Fi is slow. And it's like, shut up, dude. Like, there are 10,000 actors in Hollywood who would cut your throat today to do 1/10 of what you're doing. Like, get in the shower, get in the van, and let's go do it. Like,
The Wi-Fi sucks out here.
But I would turn down $3 million if the Wi-Fi was slow. I won't be
Have
without
your
fast
standards.
Wi-Fi.
Have
It's
your
just
standards.
who I am.
You can buy your own hotspot for $3 million.
I didn't realize that till now. You've changed my career. You changed my career.
This is why you need
Yeah.
management.
This is why I need management. That stupid voice I do as my manager isn't helping me at all, I suddenly realize. Should we take some questions, do you think?
Yeah, let's do
Sure,
it.
why not?
Can the house lights come up so we can see faces or no? Is
Do
that
folks
wrong?
have questions?
No.
There's
Yeah.
also a microphone over here. I don't know if people want to shout stuff.
Oh,
if people
yeah.
want.
You can
Oh,
shout.
there's one over there. Never
I'm
mind.
good with whatever.
Erika's
we're
about
good
to
with
run
whatever.
around
I
this
was gonna
joint.
run around.
I was like,
You could
Erika's
run.
gonna run.
I'm not
with
gonna.
whatever.
I was like,
And
you have
also,
the
if you could
energy.
just state your name and what newspaper you're from before you ask your question, that would be
Yeah.
great.
I'm Brian. Thank you. I don't have a newspaper. Sorry, Gary.
Oh, you should have a newspaper.
Gary, I'm very curious about Uncle Ruckus. You said earlier that you improv'd a lot. That character was so extreme and purposefully very offensive. So I'm just curious if there was a line to that, what directions you were given. Did you ever go too far that they had to pull away from, or just the process of that character and making that come to life?
Okay, so Uncle Ruckus was a character. Thank you. Great question. You'll get your newspaper soon.
Thank you, thank you.
Uncle Ruckus was a character in the Boondocks cartoon. He's a black guy who cannot in any way see himself as a black guy, who is the most racist against black people character in the world. I grew up in the Deep South, and I just modeled him on some of my father's friends who were inexplicably racist, horrible people. If there are any children out there, you may want to close their ears now, because Uncle Ruckus is about to talk to them. Look here, all you beautiful white people. If you're sitting anywhere near a colored person, you need to move away. They are a danger to society. So there was never a line where I was not afraid to go with Uncle Ruckus, because luckily there were smarter brains on that cartoon that made him look like the big idiot that he was. It is one of the most hated and loved characters that I've ever done in my life.
Uncle Ruckus.
Thank you for the question, my friend.
Thank you.
I did an episode of that show.
Also,
I was like a Tibetan nationalist talking shit about the Chinese. and stuff
Remember.
like that. Yeah.
I remember.
I will also say there will be times you're asked to do something that you're uncomfortable with in the booth, and you really have to make that choice for yourself. I mean, because, and in that case, like Aaron Magruder is like a known, incredible political satirist, and like has that storyline and that character in mind. But if it's somebody asks you to do that kind of a character on a show where it's not that, then you have to learn to draw your line.
Please draw your line, set your boundaries, turn down stuff that is not right for you morally, politically, whatever it is. I do not do anything that I don't feel comfortable showing my child later in life, you know.
True. Yeah.
Hello. My name is Jillian Foxglove. I'm from Maryland. Hi, Erika. My question is, if you are in the acting world already and you already have the foundation for it, there is, I think, a very difficult kind of scary monster of finding an agent and going to the right place to make your reel, mostly because there's so many companies that are very scammy and very scary. And it's a lot of, as you said, it's an investment. And so you want to go to the right place. What would you say are some hallmarks of a good agent and a good reel and a good company?
Probably we should start with the reel first, because if you get a good reel, that can help you get a good agent, right?
Yeah, you don't really need it at all after that much, to be
Right.
honest
What-
with you.
you don't.
It gets you in the door and it shows that you're serious, and I really hate that usually demos will cost about $800 to $1,000, and so it's kind of a pricing gate. But I would say, there are a couple of sites and books and resources that have specific mentions and call-outs. I want to be a voiceactor.com is a D. Bradley Baker's blog, and that has a lot of both
Such a great
practical.
resource.
If D. Bradley Baker
Such a great
says something,
resource.
trust what D. Bradley
Yes,
Baker says.
yes,
He is not
yes.
only one of the most phenomenal voice actors, he is one of the kindest human
Yes.
beings in this entire world. If he puts down some information in his book, trust it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
trust it.
And there are a couple of resources, the Help Network, Chip and Julia, HALP Network. She put out a book recently of like how to get started in video game voice acting. And so there are a lot of instructors, and a lot of times they won't ask anything from you. They'll just have resources posted, and definitely go with those. And yeah,
It's also always, Erika, a smart idea. Like, if you know somebody, you're already an established actress, I take it. If you know somebody who's doing voiceover, to me, the best thing in the world is going to them and going, who made your demo? Like, go to those people, because they've already navigated that minefield of getting screwed over by that.
And there's a delicate game with people like that saying, I've made my demo, say no, but would you mind walking it into your agent and seeing? Like, you have to ask for help. It's, you can send 1,000 emails and into the ether and they'll be gone forever, but nothing is as powerful as a personal vouch from someone who that agent likes.
That's like the only way sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
honestly, that is, if you ever get to that level where you know somebody who's already in there, that is the way to get your demo listened to. It is 100%. Nobody's going to turn down, if Marc goes to we're in the same agency. If Marc goes to our agent and goes, hey, I have this friend who he really does like, and who's a real friend. Right. Would you listen to the demo? They're never going to go, no, I'm not going to listen to that demo.
They
They're
may
gonna
not
listen.
sign them.
They might not
That's
sign them, but they
happened
will
too.
listen.
Yeah, but they'll go through it. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm from New York. I have a question about, you guys had said that now you feel things have really opened up, what with increasing internet availability. And what's that done sort of from your side as more established actors? Have you noticed it's more competitive, or that it's driving pay down, or has there been a dark side to it as well?
I missed the question. What was it?
Well, now that there's like internet and more things, has it changed for like the old school cats?
I can tell you that there have been a few waypoints in this stuff, like maybe 2008 or so, when everybody had the internet and could submit from home via MP3. The world changed, and like in the world of commercial voiceover, I would have friends that would say like, "Oh, I just read to be the voice of Budweiser," and it's like you and 30,000 other people, like,
Yeah.
and they're still going to listen to the 10 from, WME and from DPN and from all,
WME's gone.
What's that?
WME is gone.
So they might not listen to those.
No, those guys are
customers.
dead.
20,000.
20,000.
And then, when everybody in the world had a USB mic, that changed things too. So
True.
I've sent things that I was like, that was amazing. I'm going to sit here by the phone and wait. and you just the phone never rings. Yeah.
I mean, it has changed. There's a lot of things open, but that being said, you said in like 2001, there's a secret society of voice actors
Right.
that are doing a lot of the work. I'm going to tell you something. Those guys are still doing a lot of work
Oh, yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So things have changed. Things haven't changed. The guys that that are like coming, you're doing a gig, and they're like coming from a gig to your gig and leaving your gig, going to another gig. You're like, where are you going, Kevin? Like,
yeah.
what's going on? You're doing 3 gigs today? Those guys are doing all right.
I'm just disturbed that Marc was sitting by his phone because he has a cell phone. Just take it with you. Take it with you and wait for it to ring.
Still nothing.
And I do think COVID is another changer in that, though.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
When COVID hit, I was lucky enough to put a studio in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And those actors who had that, it made it easier for people to start hiring. I don't think I've seen a detraction in work just because other people can do it. I don't think I've seen...
So one difference that you're pointing out is that not just to audition, we can do sessions from home now in a proper booth, studio quality,
I do 100% of my jobs
source
from home
code.
now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100. No, you don't have to. Okay, you can clap for that. I don't know why, but I do.
I think there are so many different variables happening at any given time that it's sort of hard to track what's causing what or affecting what. I work less because there has been a push for more diversity in voiceover, and that's fine.
That's great.
In fact, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's I want that. I don't, you know what I mean? And so there's stuff that's always going to be affecting, hey, everyone loves this famous person's voice right
Yep.
now because they're on the hot show, the da-da-da.
Right.
And it's the same with commercials. They're they're looking for a blah, blah, blah type.
Yep.
So those waves and ebbs and
Always.
flows are always going to happen.
Always.
It's lovelier when it's for the right reasons and for great reasons, like what I just said.
Yeah.
I can't but tell you how many 20-something, 30-something-year-old white women jobs I'm doing right now.
I love it. It
I've
makes me
taken-
so happy. It makes me so happy. But I was also going to say, nope, I don't remember. I've never been more sure that I forgot something.
I actually have benefited. I am part of that wave of new kids, right, who came in because I was in some ways right place, right time in terms of being known in the video game animation community, and because I had access to a cheap mic, and because I was able to make a demo that was an MP3 and I didn't have to knock on doors with a CD.
Right.
And you're Asian.
Yeah, and I was Asian American.
And you were Asian.
Because.
And what are you now?
Are you no longer?
I was.
She got over it. She got over it. Can you get over Asian?
No, I actually got Canadian citizenship, and you all should do the
Asian
same.
Canadian.
Oh, man, I gotta get
lucky,
it.
lucky,
Asian Canadian.
lucky.
Canadian?
I'm not.
Canadian?
Canadian. I don't, but if any Canadians are in the audience that would like to help me out, oh my God, there are.
Shout out.
But yeah, there is the push for diversity, and I really got lucky in that pendulum was swinging just as I came in. They were looking for Asian American voices, and now also for non-binary, gender fluid, gender non-conforming actors.
That is something you should know. If you are non-binary, it is. It's on the scripts right now.
It's on the
We
scripts
ain't
right
looking for
now.
nobody faking it. We're looking for the real deal Holyfield.
Yeah, and I mean, it's worth noting that widens the pool, and if you have the training and the established career and brand to be able to be part of that front, that front runners that they'll listen to first, then yeah, it's a really good time for you. So I'm trying to get all my queer and marginalized friends in right now because it's never been easier.
Yeah.
That's great.
I will say I'm interested to see what will happen with sort of AI and voice mapping and deepfakes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because that's definitely a conversation. My partner's working on something right now for KCRW that's covering the story of people who are maybe missing a part of a contract when they do a video game that says, oh, by the way, once we have your voice, we can duplicate that and use it forever and make you say things you never said in the booth.
Yeah.
So it will be very interesting to see kind of how that gets navigated and how actors are protected.
Scary.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for your question.
Thank
buddy.
you.
Thank you. Hello.
Janet, you literally read my mind. That was going to be my question. My name's Anna. I work in speech synthesis, but I have the same concerns. So I'll cut my question in half, which is, do you have any advice on how anybody in the industry, either the VO industry or folks like me who work in speech tech, what we can do to fight back against people losing their jobs because voice technology is improving?
I think my son is in college right now and in technology. It's going to happen. When they canceled, they were doing another season recently of the Boondocks. One of the lead guys died, John Witherspoon, and so they started auditioning people. They also started working on AI at the same time to see if they could do a mixture of real actors and AI to recreate his voice. It is 100% going to happen.
It's coming, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is befriend the robots. No, it's going to happen. I don't know
It's a
any
slippery slope.
non-scary way to say it. It's happening in writing right now. There are whole scripts written, and some of them are mighty good. It's happening in the voice world. I did a movie years ago called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they took a little iron and they scanned my entire body so that they could put my character wherever they needed him in the movies. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just riding that wave of it not happening yet until it happens. But
Yeah, but
have
there's
to-
stuff that we can't. I mean, those are conversations that are happening about.
Yeah.
You're not just saying like it's going to happen. So whatever anyone wants of me, I'm gonna have
oh
to
no,
give it
no,
to
no,
them.
yeah.
But
I'm going to
yeah.
fight. I'm going to kick the
Yeah.
robot in the balls.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a very strange thing that's happening. It's going to happen for sure. But I think we're going to have to we're a business, so you're going to have to copyright yourself and license out
Try
your
that.
likeness and voice likeness. That's your agency. It's going to be another wrinkle in the contract.
Yeah.
I'm not by any means. Thank you for clarifying that, Jen.
Yeah.
I'm not by any means saying roll over and let it happen, but it's definitely that's the path that
Yeah.
we're walking. Walking.
I will
down.
say, I feel like a lot comedy has not been conquered by AI yet. I feel like
Yeah.
that might be the last.
Yeah.
like-
AI is not good at comedy.
Yeah, that might be the last turning point, because if you ask a chatbot to write something satirical, you're going to be very disappointed.
That's
or in my
true.
case, delighted.
I will tell you that I agree with you completely. I will say they're working on it. The robots,
of course
the
they
robots
are.
trying.
Of course
I did
they
a-
are.
I did a thing with the head of Google's AI for Stargate SG-1 a few years ago, a year ago or whatever, and we did a thing where they fed every script of SG-1 into Google's AI and then said, please write a script. And the first iteration was hot garbage. It just didn't work. Second one was like, oh, okay. And the third one did include a joke. The third one could have been, I mean, I don't think it was ready to, we shouldn't have gone and shot it, but the third try that it had included a joke which what they told me wasn't exactly pulled from any episode. It had sort of learned, and the joke was like, firefight, firefight. If this works, I'll buy you a beer. And the robot wrote, if this works, I'll buy you a keg. And it was like, oh no.
Oh, he upped it.
Oh no.
He upped it.
I was like,
Yeah.
A plus, maybe
Yes,
not.
and
That's
it
a
does.
joke.
And that was a
Yeah.
couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
imagine those robot jokes.
So it's happening. It's happening in visual art and writing and in voice synthesis. But the thing that we need to do around it is to legislate and to unionize.
Yeah.
We need to collectively take care of people. Like, if you can automate all the art you want, if everybody has a universal income. I mean, if we take care of artists and enable them to live good lives, even if their monetized work is taken away from them, then that's honestly the solution to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Robot overlords forever. Protectors, thank you. Sorry. I meant.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
My name is Jim from Chicago.
Jim.
As a stage performer, memorizing monologues is so stressful, especially with the rehearsal process and all that. With theater, you get a little leeway with the longer rehearsals, but with like TV and film, you can sometimes get last-minute edits the day of. What are some helpful tips and tricks to, one, help memorize certain changes and such like that? And what are your go-to stress relievers after a situation like that?
I'll say the beauty of voiceover, I know we're all also regular actors, is you never have to memorize jack. That's the beauty. Like, you get that script and, go over it the night before or something else, but you never have to memorize. Hopefully the night before, yeah. So that is the beauty of that. I don't really have any, I'm not a good memorizer, so I don't have any good memorizing tips.
Somehow, I've been acting since I was like 10, and so it's like kind of like the memorization comes, I don't know, super easy. It leaves my mind very fast, but like I can memorize a monologue in like a few minutes. But what happens is, the real trick is when you're doing stage and film is you're memorizing through the blocking.
Oh, that's true.
That's it. So when I can go to the set and not know what we're doing, but a lot of times you're doing stuff. So when you're blocking it out, then your body knows what you're saying. When I pick up this, I'm gonna say that. When I go over here, and it just naturally reminds you what you're saying, and hopefully you know the lines of some sort.
That is actually tying it into into movement.
Because when you're doing TV and stuff, it's like you run in the morning, everyone has scripts in their hand, no one knows what they're doing, the director's letting you all play and improv the scene. Later on in the day after makeup and hair, you're going through blocking where we're setting it, and then by the afternoon when you're shooting it, everyone's memorized because you know the rhythm of what's going on, your body knows the play.
I love everything you said, but I also feel like if you're showing up as a guest on something, know it.
Yeah, know it. Know it
before you vlog it.
Definitely different for the series.
Just a little pinch of advice. Yeah, just a little bit different. I don't have any like real tricks. For me, if it's a monologue, I just do it piece by piece, and I don't move on until I know. I will give myself permission to learn the first sentence and the first sentence only, and then the first two sentences, and then the next sentence. It's almost like the improv game where you stand in a circle and everyone learns each other's name. Yep. It's just like, you will know that first person's name no matter what you know about the last person's name. You will know the first 5 people's names so perfectly because it's just repetition. But that also helps build your own character's motivation and emotion as they are. It's like, it works also because it's like, well, this is the first thought they had about this, and that led to this thought, and that led to this thought.
You have to find the logic.
So on.
Yeah. Find the logic, right?
Yeah.
In voiceover, for voiceover, cold reading is the most important skill you can learn.
Great point.
Because honestly, you'll get a script, you don't even know what your character looks like, you might not even know the project. So you just have to make a big old choice and stick with it, and then everything else follows from there. 100%. Also for mocap and for head-mounted cam, when you're in the booth and you have the camera on you, but you have to be off book, like they'll give you the script maybe a couple days beforehand, and you just gotta kind of run that sucker. I usually will have a friend or pay a reader to like go back and forth with me. Famously, in the Council of Elrond scene in Fellowship of the Ring, Sean Bean, his speech of like, it is a gift, he got the lines changes just before they started filming. So he had it in his lap and was kind of like looking down and being pensive and then delivering it. So like, just do whatever you have to make that scene go, because there are so many people relying on you. I mean, no pressure, but everybody is looking at you and relying on you, so you just have to have it like with confidence.
Cool.
Thank you. I hope something helped you.
Yeah, and about the stress, do any of you have like to-go stress kind of reliefs that you do?
Oh, right,
after?
we didn't even.
Oh, stress relief?
Oh, I did the opposite, didn't I?
Yeah.
Say
like
stress relief?
after like a tough day or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Brown liquor.
Brown liquor, a good meal.
I'm a walker. I just walk off my stress.
Me too, dude.
So.
Yeah. Do something that has nothing to do with you. Take yourself out of whether it is just like vegging out and watching a show or listening to an audiobook that is so suspenseful that it takes you out of your own stuff, or checking in with someone. Like, I know this sounds very like, maybe it's cheesy, but it's so much better for me to check in on someone who I know has something going on in their life. That takes me out of like whatever stupid thing I'm freaking out about whether I got a line right during the day. It's like, my friend just had a baby. I bet that's hard.
Yeah,
You know?
I want someone else's drama.
Yeah.
There's nothing like someone else's drama.
Be a sponge, be a sounding board for that.
I bet having a baby is easy.
Nobody's going to take you up on that bet because clearly you're right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey there,
Hey.
Zach Nielsen, Metropolis Daily Planet.
Oh, Metropolis Daily Planet.
Yeah, my favorite read.
Good to see all of you all here. Erika, I wanted to call out that we in the community appreciate the set that you are doing. We feel very represented right now. Dante, you've had a really interesting journey to me. You've gone from live action to voice acting, and I hear that you're going to be appearing in a upcoming live play of Avatar, which we're all very much looking forward to.
I don't even know. I don't know anything about any of that stuff.
I know you can't say anything about that. We're looking forward to it. So I was wondering if you had ever, hypothetically done any sort of TTRPG stuff, how you find your acting experience applies to sort of that group improv experience. And that's for the table as well. But
Wait, have you ever played?
No.
You did a little short round with Jenny Kwan of the Avatar RPG, right?
It was great. Me and Jenny Kwan did a version of the new game, right? Yes.
it's not released yet, but it'll be coming out soon.
I did play a version of it, and it was awesome. I kind of want to go. We did like a short campaign because it was for like a YouTube thing, and me and Jenny Kwan did something. But I want to talk to you because I want to do a one.
Yeah, there's one on the boat, but it always conflicts with a rehearsal or a panel.
Yeah. But I want to do the Avatar one with some of the voice actors because like Jack DeSena is really good at improv and Michaela and all them. And so I did, of course, the Firebender because I have to do Fire Nation. But no, I love RPGs. I played a few campaigns online throughout the years with Maker Studios and with Rooster Teeth. And it's so fun, but I'm also looking at a lot of, there it is. I also like to just watch other people do some improv with us, I'm not as good as a storyteller as some people, so I enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Hi, I'm Kyle, he, him. I'm curious, you talked about being in the booth at your home. How is that different from being in a room with the other voice actors? Which do you prefer? I know they have different challenges, but how do you approach that?
I'm a very social person, so when COVID hit, that was like devastating just to be at home all the time in the booth. Now it is so relaxing. I can go from one job straight to another job. They're still there on the Zoom, like all the people that I normally would have been working with on the other side of the glass is now on the another side of a glass that just happens to be a big TV screen set up. So I can honestly say I definitely do not feel like anything has been lost in translation for it. And I get to get more done in a much more relaxed way. So I am 100% in, and if they ever try to get me to go back to the studio to do everything, I'm going to burn Los Angeles down.
Wow.
I'm going to ask for your help, but I'm going to burn it down. So that's me, and I know other people have different opinions.
I love the booth.
I do too.
I miss the booth. I love the booth. I mean, first of all, my auditions at home, I really not hard on myself, so I really just send in I did it once. Send that in. That's fine. But when the booth, so yeah, I'm also very social, and I just I hate driving. I hate driving to Burbank or to wherever for this whole situation. But when you get there, there's craft service, there's coffee, there's tea. The good places have a lot in the refrigerator. Someone's cooking something. Would you like
Margarita mix?
Margarita mix afterwards. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Margarita Mix is this recording studio that literally has a full bar there.
Everything.
All day long. Would
Right.
you like a margarita?
Lime Studios.
Wait till after.
What kind
Wait
of
till
omelet?
after.
But guys, I have a refrigerator.
No,
at
it's
home.
great. It's great. It's great. No, yeah. And then
both.
Gary can drink
Bro,
anytime he
I think
wants
a little
to
bit.
if he's at home.
And then being in the studio with certain actors is just great. I mean, days with when we did Avatar with Grey DeLisle, who plays Azula, amazing. Or Mark Hamill, these cats you kind of hang and you get to hang with them. It's the hang,
Yeah.
It's the in between hang and the chatter and listening to everyone catch up with each other and catching up and it's hilarious. I mean, I'm sure I haven't been in studio with you, but I'm sure you'd be a great
but
time.
you think I'm amazing in studio. You wait till you get me in my home booth over Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to really love me then.
I like both. I mean, again, not a surprise. JoCo Cruise, love to do a bunch of different stuff. I would be sad if one of those options went away. I would miss it. I love having the ability to record at home, but I do get a kick from going in.
We've done 2 seasons of a podcast, you and me, Janet, and we've done none of them in a studio together.
We've either been live on stage together, or we've been at a house or in our hotel or whatever.
Right. For like 2 whole seasons.
And it's great because we both travel, so if we can do it from, it's great to have that option, but I like to have both out there.
Do you have a home booth, Marc?
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
Well, I get to do both because I find myself in the studio pretty regularly doing ADR for on-camera stuff that I've shot. So I get both things. This is a little inside baseball. But one thing I legit miss is the lobby at DPN. It used to be before COVID that we would go in, even though all of us have home studios and stuff, you'd frequently go in, they'd call you in, and you'd sit in the hallway, in the lobby, in a not super nice place or anything, but it was a social time every morning at 10:30.
That's how WME was too. You would sit there and just like old school actors, like in theater, talking about everything.
Yeah, like that's where we may have met there. I'm not even sure. I don't remember
think we
where
met before that, but yeah.
But like everybody would be there. Like Marc Hamill, like he's at our same agency. Like he'd just be hanging out there and.
Can I very quickly?
Marc Hamill cut the line. Let's be honest. Did Marc Hamill cut the line?
Nobody got to cut the line there.
In fact, here's the story. Marc Hamill once, I'm in line. Jeff Danis puts me in line with a guy who's kind of grizzly and disheveled hair and maybe multiple overcoats. And we get where it was a McDonald's commercial, and it was like Detective 1 and Detective 2, like 2 hard-bitten cops talking about something. And we get into the booth, and Dave goes, "Are you ready?" And I go, "Yep." And he goes to slate it, and he goes, "Detective 1, Marc Evan Jackson. Detective 2, Marc Hamill." And I go, and he knew I didn't know, and he goes,
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I had no idea who Hamill was when I first moved to LA. We became friends, and I mean deep friends. I was friends with a guy named Marc.
Yeah.
And we were buddies, and one day he goes, "Hey, Gary, I wrote this thing, comic book, the movie, and I think you should have a little part in it." I was like, "Cool." And then he's like, here's the script, and I read the script, written by Marc Hamill. I was like, "Oh shit, I'm friends with Marc Hamill." But that's how it was with everybody there. Like
Andrea Romano said, "Marc's gonna come in and play your dad today." I said, "Okay, Andrea," who directed Avatar, and floats on a cloud of mist. Marc Hamill is your dad. I was like, "That's my dad? Yeah. Right now? We're gonna have an Agni Kai, me and my dad, and he's Marc Hamill."
Yeah.
Man, I'm like a pandemic baby. Like I sort of started coming up in 2020. And so I missed out on a lot of those things of being in the studio and meeting Marc Hamill.
Oh, yeah.
Who
And not
apparently was
recognizing him.
auditioning for a McDonald's commercial. Like that's the thing I'm reeling from still.
That's crazy.
And I don't know. I have my little home booth, and I miss being in studio. But for video games, most of the time you're alone in the booth. You don't get to do group reads.
Good point.
You have an Excel sheet with all of your lines on it.
Good point.
And 1,000 efforts, and you sometimes have to guess at what's in between.
I would love for you guys to show them what that's like. So you will get a sheet, and it might say efforts on it, and it'll say punches, and then they want a high, you taking a punch, a low taking up. Give me a low taking, and then a high taking, and then an extreme taking of a punch.
Yeah.
Okay, now give me the same thing, but you're punching. Give me a low, you're punching, not taking, and then a medium and a high of punching, delivering a punch. Okay, that middle one. Oh,
This is more for and this is for like Japanese fighting game as opposed to like grounded sort of Naughty Dog sort of a thing. That's more like
and that's that. But you're talking about over an hour of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My heart sinks the most when it says falling from a great distance. There is no way to not feel like a goofy cartoon. Yeah. You're like,
You're like,
why am I still
longer,
falling?
Jen. Can we do the next one, but like twice as long? And then you hit the ground. And then you hit the ground.
The ground. Yeah, and also engineering for yourself and doing those efforts. When you're in your own booth, you have to
Gain
be
down.
right in the dials constantly.
Yeah,
so
I don't wanna do that.
I love being
It's
in
so hard
studio.
being a voice actor, you guys. It's so,
You have to turn a
you have
knob.
to turn a knob.
So hard.
I think we have a lot more questions and
Oh, yeah.
probably not
okay,
much more time.
Okay,
So we better
lightning
move on.
round.
Thank you. Lightning round.
These
Lightning
are
round.
great questions.
Also,
y'all.
I'm in the panel after this, so
Lightning
I'm just
round.
going to say, let's just go here until the TTRPG kids kick
Great.
everybody out.
Hello, my name's Dale. I'm actually asking a question from my wife, Laurel, over there.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laurel.
What's the biggest mistake that you see people new into the industry make?
I would say probably trying to imitate other people.
Great, great.
I think there already is a Matt Mercer. You don't need to sound like him, and just finding your own voice is really, really important.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think doubting themselves for no reason, tripping on yourself too much, like no one actually cares about any of this. Everyone's so concerned about their own career, they don't care what you're doing. And for you to think that other people are caring about, just do your thing.
Yeah.
Like don't trip on the biggest mistake is being scared to make mistakes. Who cares? No one is tripping on your stuff at all. Go do your thing 100%. Don't worry about it.
I would also say, it's okay to say no. Like, if, it's from time to time you're asked to do stuff that's, not your brand, not what you do. And, I did a lot of that stuff for a long time thinking, I got to try everything. You got to say yes, you got to say yes. And it's like, this makes me feel terrible about myself. No. I'm not, hire an English guy if you want an English accent. I don't want to do this,
Right.
That's
Thank
all.
you, Betty.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Liz from Boston.
Hey, Liz.
And I just, to the degree with which you are comfortable answering, it's something I've heard about as being very common, and it makes sense in the acting world to me personally. That are any of you or folks that you know somewhere on the ADHD spectrum? It seems like it would be very common.
I'm very normal.
Really?
I think our whole industry is just full of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the answer is us or anybody we know. Yes. I think our industry is full of. The beauty is, I don't think you're going to be an actor or an artist or anything if you're just on whatever somebody calls normal somewhere. Something's wrong with all of us.
Right.
Oh, heavens.
That's
yes.
just a fact.
There are voices in our heads.
But we get paid for 'em.
Yeah.
I will say that there is probably a high correlation, but definitely no causation of ADHD and of acting and being an artist. But also, the myth of the sort of tortured, crazy artist is really harmful. Every artist that I know that is successful medicates that shit or goes to therapy and really kind of takes care of it.
Yeah.
So that you're taking care of yourself and the people around you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Hello.
Lucky last, that's me. I'm Meredith. Now, you may be able to spot, I'm not from around here. So the only accent I can do is my own Australian accent.
And it's beautiful.
Thank you. And how limiting is it? How flexible can they be around, they want an American person, but hey, this Australian person sounds awesome. Does it ever happen that they would say an Australian will do?
I think it definitely does. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of auditions come through now that actually say open to your natural accent.
Right.
Use your natural. Don't
A lot of
force an
that,
accent
yeah.
that isn't yours. But they don't. A lot of the time, they don't know what they want. And so I feel like I've been seeing that more. I feel like I've been seeing a lot more invitation to use your natural accent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
Thanks,
make money.
Meredith.
Thank you.
you.
Hi, my name is Christy.
Hi,
Christy.
Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Mine is actually not a question, but my daughter asked if I had the opportunity to tell Erika she absolutely loves you and you are amazing.
There's a closer if I ever heard one. Nice.
What's her name?
Telling you that, my daughter is 30 years old.
Aha! What's her name?
But her name is Sierra.
Sierra, tell Sierra thank you so much.
You
That's
bet
so
I
kind.
will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christy.
I wish you could have phrased it as a question, though. Does my daughter love you? Are you amazing?
I don't know. Actually, one thing I wanted to shout out. It was my birthday a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was.
But I started a campaign on Tiltify so that you can donate directly to Trans Lifeline. And there's a bunch of sort of incentives, like I had to sit normally in a chair for 20 minutes. I did that the other day. If we get to 10,000, we're at like 9,000 right now. If we get to 10,000, I will walk straight into the pool in a suit or a gown. And just trans folk are being targeted more than ever now, and I wanted to celebrate my life with celebrating theirs. So I think I dropped the link on Twitter, or it's in my regular Twitter. If you have internet access, please go check that out.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
It's been really fun. Thank you.
Thank you.